Hey folks, Deano here again, with another Gunpla review. This one, I'll be entirely honest with you, this is completely by accident. Yeah, I was actually looking for the Mighty Strike Freedom Gunpla, which is quite a recent kit at the time of this recording. I think it's a few months old. It was definitely released this year, at the very least. Yeah, I was looking at that one because I liked the look of it in the reviews and such. And while half asleep, went on to try and purchase it, not realising that the naming schemes in the Gundam Seed series are all very similar. So yeah, I ended up getting the Strike Freedom completely by accident, and by the time I woke up the next day, it had already been shipped. So yeah, I was essentially stuck with it. I do also have the Mighty Strike Freedom now as well. I corrected my mistake as much as I could anyway. And yeah, I'll be honest, for an older kit, this is pretty decent. A link in the description below. I'll try to get links for Amazon and AliExpress for these, for both the Strike Freedom and the Mighty Strike Freedom. But yeah, just don't make my mistake. I was actually going to buy a bootleg version of this to review, but yeah, I now have the official one, so I no longer plan on doing that. Word of caution as well, I bought these solely on looks alone. I haven't yet like viewed or watched anything to do with Gundam Seed. I know it's a long running series. I know it's a bit hit and miss for some people, but I really like the suit designs. I'll be completely honest with you. I have seen bits and pieces here and there, but yeah, I haven't sat down to like watch it completely, so don't expect any backstory to it. I will put that out there right now. I'll be reviewing this solely on how the suit looks and performs. So yeah, let's get this guy off the turntable and take a look at the box. So yeah, in terms of Gundam Gunpla boxes, it's pretty much your standard affair. A lot of them tend to have the same design elements. In terms of the high grades anyway, the real grades have got a slightly different look to them, with big fancy faces and renders and such. But yeah, this is a really nice box. I do like it. In terms of like what the suit is doing in the picture, I think it's its final attack. You can actually get an effect set for that, which I might do in the future. Let me know if you'd like to see that. I know these like standard Gunpla reviews don't tend to get a whole lot of views, but frankly, I don't really care. The whole point of this channel is for me to like review things that I like. If you don't like Gunpla for whatever reason, then that's totally up to yourself. There's plenty other things for you to watch on my channel, and there always will be. So don't worry about that. That being said though, while I go off on a tangent, this guy being older uses polycaps, so if anyone in my audience or watches this knows how to get like replacement plastic polycaps, please do get in touch with me, because frankly polycaps are starting to do my nutting. The Gundam Wing ones, some of them are quite loose. They were loose out the package, so yeah, please do get in touch. I would like to purchase some replacements. But yeah, back to the box. So we've got HD Cosmic Era. Like I said, I am not familiar with all the different eras and universes that the Gundam series has. I have no idea why they are different, considering the fact that like all of the Gundam designs came from the RX-782. even though some universes didn't have the RX-78-2. So it's a bit confusing. I don't know why they did it. Frankly, it's a bit baffling, but it is what it is. I don't know any of the different eras, apart from After Colony, which is Gundam Wing, and Universal Century a little bit, which is the original Gundam universe. But yeah, it's high grade. This is the ZGMF X-28 Strike Freedom Gundam. Zaft mobile suit, HGU 1/44th scale, and this was made in 2016, which makes it 8 years old. This guy is nearly in double figures. That's not to say it's a bad suit though. A lot of the older designs still hold up. The only issue with it is the polycaps. So yeah, looking at the sides of the box, we have some poses and things like that, which are really nice. I do like that. On this side we have the Bluefin logo. That's when you know it's old. I'm not sure if Bluefin's still around for like America. I think they got absorbed into Bandai. Like overall, they started off as like a third-party distributor and got bought over. Some more pictures on that side, and then another image of the front render, and this is number 201. So yeah, pretty standard model kit box by all means. So yeah, let's take a look at his accessories. So in terms of accessories, he comes with a decent enough array of accessories. He comes with everything he needs, basically. So first off, we have his 2 beam rifles, which they look identical, just from like the finished design, but they actually aren't. They both built up quite differently, to be completely honest. The red on them are stickers. They are holding quite well, as is the blue. So yeah, they're holding well enough. Can't argue with that, although I did only build them yesterday. One of them, the barrel extends like so, and you flip away the handle, flip down this back piece, and then you can insert the barrel of the second one. You can also like keep down the handle. There is no easy way of getting that down. They didn't have a tab on it. If they did, I maybe snipped it off by accident, but yeah, you can keep it like that. You also extend this back bit here, and that becomes a really big rifle for him, which you can hold in both hands. Quite cool. I do like how that is designed. I don't like how easy it is to like slide in and out sort of thing. Bit disappointing, but it is what it is. Can these go straight into his hand without opening it? Yes, they can. That is fun. That's handy. It's always nice when those are easy to do. You'll notice there are pegs right here. This suit has a nice sort of gimmick where these side skirts double as railguns. So you can, I'll take these off to show in a second. Those are these beam sabers as well. So these can actually swivel round to the back, and then you can slot these guns in for storage on his hips, which is quite cool. I do like that. You can't really call them an accessory, but I'll include it anyway. These side skirt railguns can flip up like so, and he fires from his hip as well. This guy has a lot of weaponry just built into his suit, and it sits really nicely. They don't get in the way because they're essentially just skirt pieces, so I do like that. Let's see, keep those like so. There we go. He is on a stand because, quite frankly, the polycaps cannot hold the weight of those wings, even like normally. So yeah, in terms of his beam sabers, you get 2 of them. They are pretty basic. Not really anywhere you can put like panel lining and such on, unlike what I've done with that. The main feature of these for me is the fact that they can go together and make a double-bladed lightsaber, or beam saber, or whatever you want to call it. I'm just going to call it Darth Maul's. But yeah, really nice, very unique, and the fact that it's the actual sabers themselves that fit together is quite cool. I do like that. We'll leave them off though for now, because it's a bit of a pain in the backside to get them back on. This guy has the opposite issue of the Mighty Strike Freedom, which I will review after this. Whereas these ones are quite tight and difficult to get on, the Mighty Strikes just tend to fall out when you even breathe on them or look at them funny. So yeah, bit annoying there. He also has a beam shield, which is really nice. It's just a blue tinted clear plastic. The Mighty Strike Freedoms is a lot nicer looking than this. It's got like a pearlescent sheen to the plastic. It makes it look really nice. But this one still gets the job done. Can't argue with it there. To put that on, you take this side piece. There is a nice little gap at the top for you to peel that off, like so. And then you take the shield and you pop it in place. And then to complete the effect, you put this red piece back on, which is easier said than done. Come on. Last take I've done of this flew off into the carpet. Glad to say that didn't happen here. I recommend not pushing that in all the way, because if you do, you'll have a hard time getting it back out. You'll have to disassemble part of the arm. Not fun. But yeah, it really looks nice. It really like plays a part. The light still shines quite nicely off it, so I do quite like that. Take that back off. And slot that back in. Obviously over time that peg might become a bit loose because you're popping it on and off again. Just be careful of that. He has 2 beam saber blades in the standard sort of reddish pink that most Gundam come with. The only ones that come in different colours tend to be the Gundam wing kits. But yeah, they are decent. These ones are nice and straight. The Mighty Strike Freedom did not fare so well. And finally, in terms of hands, you get a pair of square peg grippy fists. And you also get a pair of splayed open hands, or relaxed hands, whatever you want to use them for. They're really nice. The colour of gold on this guy is a bit basic. It could probably be doing with a bit of a paint job. I didn't do it here because I wanted to show you what it looks like, just base. But yeah, you could even get away with a bit of panel lining in between those fingers, just to give it a bit more depth. But yeah, that is all of the accessories he comes with. So yeah, let's take a look at the kit itself now. So yeah, in terms of the kit, despite the fact that it's 8 years old, I really think this looks great. I would almost say the thinner proportions look a bit more hero-like than the Mighty Strike Freedom. The Mighty Strike is a bit more bulky, even though it's supposed to be just an updated version of this suit, because spoilers, the two do look quite similar, despite the fact that the Mighty Strike Freedom doesn't use a single part from this guy, not even the joints. Nothing is the same. So yeah, I do quite like it. As I do with all my kits, I show it what it's like with a simple panel line on it. When I show this in the comparison on the Mighty Strike, I might have already put on some decals and such to make it fit in with the rest of mine. But yeah, I do really like it. I like how the head looks as well. The sort of V-fins with all high grade kits, they tend to come with like safety nubs. So I recommend snipping those off to give it a much sharper look. But yeah, you would be mistaken for thinking this is like a mini real grade, or an older style at least. Even though it doesn't have an inner frame or anything like that, it really has a good silhouette. I know there is a real grade version of the Strike Freedom, or even the Strike as well, but frankly I have no intention of getting that. People are saying the wings on those older kits are atrocious, so yeah, that won't be happening. This guy is more than enough for me. But yeah, I do really like it. The only things I'm not overly fond of is, see these gold pieces on the top of his wings? Those are stickers. It really wouldn't have taken them that much to give us like a little piece that just slots into the wings. Like, because they aren't even designed so that it's just on the front of this raised edge. They've made it so you have to fold all the bits down, and yeah, those are probably going to peel off eventually. Let's just be completely honest here, they will. So just be wary of that. But yeah, all in all, a really nicely designed suit. And apart from the polycap issues, which we'll get to in the actual like articulation section, it's a nice kit. Like, it strikes a good silhouette. It really does. But yeah, speaking of articulation, let's get him off the stand so that we can see how he stands up. There we go, pop it out. It's just a peg at the bottom. So, as you can see, he's making me out to be a liar. He is holding himself up perfectly fine. To hell with you. But yeah, frankly, it's making out to be a liar. The legs are a bit on the loose side. I think that's purely because, like, one, the age of this kit, and two, the fact that it's polycaps. But yeah, for the articulation, in fact, let's take the wings off for now so we can get a better look. I'll show the wings off separate. So yeah, the head is a bit weird as well. Like, if it's not straight on, it's kind of like flopping all over the place, which is a bit annoying. Holds up a bit better on this side. I have pushed it in as far as it can go, so I can only assume it's just a tolerance issue with the peg. But yeah, you can look up that far. We usually do it this way. Look down that far, side to side, and some pivot as well. Yeah, I'm not seeing any issues there. I'm not sure what's going on. But yeah, the arms can go up that far without moving the shoulder. You can pull the peg out a little bit, get a bit more range. The thing is just a gold coloured polycap that slots in, standard for most of these older high grade kits. But you pull that out a little bit and you get some nice range across using that butterfly. Swivel, completely fine. The arms do have a biceps type swivel. Double joint, which without the shoulder would get pretty much the whole way, which is really nice. The shoulder pad here is just on with a peg, but it doesn't really get in the way anyway. Hands are just your standard ball peg. Gets a decent amount of range in there. Nice enough. The abs, there is quite a lot going on in there for how little like articulation you actually get. There's a ball joint up here, which is front facing, and then there's a ball joint in. So both of those together, you get about that much down. Just popped off. That is the top bit. Be careful of that, it's just pegged in at the top. You get that much back, which is actually a decent amount backwards. You do probably have to pop that back in. There we go. Swivel at the waist, because it's literally just a peg. That comes off way too easy for my liking. The railguns, like I said before, do swivel back and forth. They also get out the way really well. So if you leave them in place, he gets pretty much the entire splits anyway. But you can also move them completely out the way, and he gets actually further than 180, which is insane. He has a strange sort of pull down feature where if you pull down one, like it's one solid piece, so I don't really get the point in it. One goes down, one goes up. Frankly, I'm thinking of just super gluing that in place. I don't like it at all. These skirt pieces come in one piece on the sprue, but you can cut it in two and it'll work just fine. Those get up out of the way like so. He also has a moving butt flap, which is a bit rare for these older kits. So he can kick that far forward. If you pull it down a bit, he gets a little bit more. He can also kick back completely fine. He does have thigh rotation right there. Double jointed knee, which gets the entire range. It's just a bit ugly. Saved a little bit, of course, by the fact that it's gold plastic, but hey, I'm just a sucker for gold. He has feet rotation, but they are a bit hindered by the fact that this sort of skirt piece is just on a swivel. So it's a ball peg in there. It can go forward and back. The foot itself can't really go up any, but it can go down really well. That's just for the flight poses, and the back sort of heel does not move. So yeah, all in all, guys, like, I can't stress enough, I really like this kit, like, honestly. I'll quickly put on the wings, maybe 2 seconds. So there we have the wings back on. So what I'll do now is spread it out just for the end of this review. So what you do is you pull the front ones up first and sort of meet them in the middle. It's a little bit finicky, but it does work just fine. You then split these. They are in two separate pieces. The blue parts are a bit loose on my copy. I'm not sure why. I know they're meant to come off for the like effect piece that you get, but it's still a little bit frustrating to deal with. And there you go. That is the wings. Really nice once they're all splayed open. Let's see if I can bring it up like that. There you go. So nice wingspan. Like I said, they are a bit unwieldy, but they get the job done, to be completely honest with you. So yeah, like I said at the start of the review, if you want me to review specifically the bootleg effect piece for this, where he's firing all of his cannons and stuff at the same time, let me know. I'll probably be getting it anyway, but if you want to actually see it, please let me know. And yeah, until next time, guys, I'll see y'all later.